Happy March 5th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today. In this show, we talk about Michael Saylor going to the White House, and good things happen when Michael Saylor goes to the White House. We talk about combating the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's out there. Howard Lutnick drops an absolute Bitcoin bomb. Wait for that. Michael Saylor shares an amazing poem. And then, of course, we have rule number 17 of the 21 Rules of Bitcoin by Michael Saylor. This video is not financial advice, but please do comment below. If you get value from these videos, the value you can give back to me is commenting below, letting me know where you're watching from, letting me know what your thoughts are, your questions, your comments. Those comment sections are super amazing. So thank you, and let's dive on in. Okay, and today's first post is from Michael Saylor himself. I have been invited to the Digital Assets Summit at the White House this Friday, which is March 7th, hosted by the president. And then I wanted to share this next post by Bitcoin Overflow. Bitcoin has no leader, but its advocates are legion and well-placed. And this is awesome. I love this whole sentence because, number one, Bitcoin has no leader. There is no counterparty risk. That's one thing I love about Bitcoin. But its advocates, Michael Saylor and the such, are legion and well-placed. And that is so true. And that's why I am so excited and bullish about the future. Now, for those people that are still having a little bit of a hard time with the recent FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I want to share this post by Chris. For those caught up in the recent FUD, this thread is for you. Consider it your anchor every time you find yourself lost in the noise. And by the way, feel free to save this if you want. I posted the link in the show notes below. Come back to this if you ever need to. Firstly, it's natural to feel uneasy under the current circumstances, especially if this is new territory for you. Just remember, volatility in FUD is a feature and not a bug. And that goes for any long-term investment. There has never been a single successful investment in history that hasn't had to endure constant volatility in FUD imposed on it by the markets. Volatility in FUD is simply the price you must pay for the opportunity. This is why the only times you need to pay attention to price is when you buy and when you sell. Again, I shared this graphic yesterday. Secondly, let me repeat, nothing has changed about the strategy thesis. People are simply overestimating what strategy will do in the short term and underestimating what strategy will do in the long term. So true. Thirdly, the liquidity cycle drives everything, and nothing has changed with how I expect the liquidity cycle to unfold this year. In fact, with all of the FUD circulating right now, I am more confident than I have been for a while that we end up significantly higher by the end of 2025. Fourthly, consider moments like this not as threats, but opportunities to study and strengthen your conviction. This should be standard. You should be constantly scrutinizing your thesis and looking for ways to both invalidate and validate it. If you need inspiration, see below. And then this is his thesis. Again, very honored that my show is one of the shows highlighted here. Super cool. Finally, Chris says, instead of attempting to escape these tough moments, embrace them. It's the lows that enable you to appreciate the highs. Love that. Thank you, Chris. I will be saving this personally. Bitcoin says this creates the opening for more MSTR CBs in the short term. Bitcoin price might not be doing us any favors, but rising volatility gives MSTR another chance to win. And again, this volatility rising is so key to what we do here at Strategy. End of story. BlackRock. If every millionaire in the US asked their financial advisor to get them one Bitcoin, there wouldn't be enough. And those are just millionaires in the US. Think about globally. It's getting scary. Game theory is being activated. And just like JLD, Michael Saylor says, I'm going to be buying the top forever. And this is in response to Strategy posting. Strategy has dollar cost average as well as bought BTC across all prices through 55 announcements, including the Bitcoin highs. We strive to have more Bitcoin tomorrow than yesterday. Because what do they care about? Bitcoin tomorrow. How much Bitcoin do they have tomorrow? Not how much they bought it for or what price point. They want more Bitcoin. Adrian posted this. MSTR volatility is vitality. I told you to hang in there. Not financial advice, of course. Hillary, Dan, we feeling a little less dead inside today. And look at this is the kind of move MSTR is capable of when the market is moving with it, which is not always going to happen. but it's capable. And to me, that is exciting. And Bitcoin Archive shares, here we go. The Pavlovic Today shares, Howard Lutnick reveals Trump to unveil Bitcoin reserve strategy at White House Crypto Summit. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick tells the Pavlovic Today that President Trump will unveil a Bitcoin reserve strategy at the White House Crypto Summit, marking a major shift in U.S. crypto policy. One thing I want to say about this is sometimes these rumors don't prove to be true, so we'll see what happens. But it would be pretty exciting if, in fact, that does happen on Tuesday. Adam wants us to know that Saylor is going to red pill Trump on hyper Bitcoinization on March 7th. Michael Saylor isn't walking into the White House as a guest. He's walking in as the architect of a Bitcoin-backed economic coup Trump is hosting. MSTR is locked and loaded. The U.S. is on the verge of front-running the most asymmetric trade in history. If you aren't paying attention, you're already too late. Trump's fresh off his crypto strategic reserve flex, signaling that the U.S. isn't just playing in the digital asset arena, it's moving to dominate it. Now Saylor steps in armed with 500,000 Bitcoin and unshakable conviction in a playbook so lethal it could send fiat into full collapse mode. His move convinced Trump that Bitcoin is America's financial nuclear weapon, the only way to turn 36.5 trillion of U.S. debt into a rounding error while forcing every other country into a prisoner's dilemma. Adopt Bitcoin or get left behind. MSTR is devouring the old system from the inside out. 700% up in 2024, market cap outpacing its Bitcoin holdings, a treasury strategy so aggressive that Wall Street has no choice but to bend the knee. Hedge funds are already addicted. Convertible debt, junk bonds, options letting up like a casino floor. And now Saylor has a direct line to the most Bitcoin-friendly U.S. president in history. This is a summit. This is where it goes nuclear. If Trump moves first, every central bank is forced into a decision they're not ready to make. China is hoarding gold. Russia is dodging U.S. sanctions through alternative financial rails. Europe is paralyzed into a fiat death spiral. Saylor is about to hand Trump the ultimate checkmate. Make Bitcoin the U.S. reserve asset and force every other nation to follow or perish. This is the Nash equilibrium moment. If the U.S. makes Bitcoin the monetary standard, every country left holding fiat is in free fall. This is a war council. Saylor isn't negotiating. He isn't there to listen. He's there to win. The outcome is already written. Bitcoin is inevitable. MSTR is the first $1 trillion Bitcoin company, and fiat is already dead. It just doesn't know it yet. If Trump greenlights a 1 to 6% Bitcoin reserve allocation, we're looking at BTC hitting 1 million, MSTR setting to 20,000, and every major institution panic buying while the door slams shut behind them. The financial singularity is happening in real time. You either front run it now or you become exits liquidity. And we'll end the post with a Michael Saylor poem. Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. While the fearful run from it and the fools dance around it, the faithful feed the flame and dream of a world bathed in the warm glow of cyber light. I love it. Now let's move on to Michael Saylor breaking down rule number 17 of Bitcoin.
Rule 17. You don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets. It's a thundering herd of 8 billion people. It's going on for far beyond your lifetime, and it's much bigger and stronger and more powerful and more intelligent than you are. Right? It's like Taleb writes about intellectual yet idiots, like people with PhDs in aeronautical engineering that give speeches on how to make birds fly better. It's like if you find yourself as the guy with the PhD lecturing eagles on how to fly, you're the person that thinks you can change Bitcoin, right? You're not smarter than Bitcoin. You're not smarter than 300 million companies and 8 billion people and 80 billion people yet to be, right? The world is big. The market is big. You're not going to change it. You're going to try to change it, but it'll be a lot smarter for you to change yourself.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR today. And my friends, I hope that you're proud of me because I did not buy the top yesterday. I always try to buy the top like Michael Saylor, but I did not succeed yesterday. I bought it $245, as you can see right here. I got 0.859 share of MSTR, spent $210 on it at a $245 price point. So continuing to bring my dollar cost average down. One thing I wanted to note too is that quite a few people, both in the public comments and privately messaged me thanking me for my military service, letting me know that they also are military veterans, or just appreciates military veterans in general. So first off, thank you so much for your kind words, both in the public comments and the private messages. Thank you to all my veterans out there that are watching and that have served or are currently serving as well. And I'll show you my medal box real quick, my medal box over here, as you can see with my my flag. And then over on this side, this was my commissioned as a second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and then captain. Again, I was a tank commander. Then I was in the logistics fields with Big Red 1 here. This is the Big Red 1 patch. I was based out of Fort Riley, Kansas. And then, of course, we got the American flag. And then this is some of my medals from my time in service as an Iraqi war veteran. So just wanted to share that with people that were asking yesterday in the comments, both private and public. So again, thank you for your just kind words. Thank you for your support of this video. I'm feeling pretty excited about the future of MSTR. Again, nobody knows short term, but I'm looking forward to the long term, the 4 years, the 8 years, the 12 years. I'm in it for the cycles, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, because we both are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So thank you for allowing me to be in your 5, at least for this 10 to 15 moments of your day. And as Michael Saylor loves to say, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.